before I made a decision. It was almost kind of like I had to make a decision and then meet everyone, see the school teammates and everything like that.
What made you just be able to decide, especially in the COVID transfer portal, in the matter of a week, that Ohio was the right place for you? What's up, you guys? Welcome to this Dropout Sports Special, where today we have Ohio University basketball player Dwight Wilson III. Say what's up, Dwight. Tell us a little about yourself.
How you doing? I'm Dwight Wilson III. I'm a senior. I play basketball at Ohio University.
There you go.
Hey, good stuff, man. Just to start out this interview real quick, I want to ask you about your recruiting process. So when I was trying to research you, I didn't really find a lot about your any ratings you had, but in a lot of your profiles, I found a lot of accolades that you had in high school. You had a state championship in I think it was Class 8A in Florida, Conference Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year at one point. What was your journey to initially get to James Madison University?
It was really, I'm from Tallahassee, Florida, and basketball isn't really taken that seriously. So I don't think I started playing basketball later than a lot of kids, so I don't think like I got as high as I could have coming out. Mm-hmm. But I think everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. How I got to James Madison, it was funny. I thought I was going to North Florida. There was a coach there I had known since like sophomore year. So he got the job at James Madison, called the head coach, offered me with like 10 minutes, compared to all the other schools. We thought it was the best fit. They gave us a family like atmosphere, and it was pretty far. It was good about far from home, so it was out of my comfort zone. So that's how I ended up at James Madison.
So some things that we just kind of want to know, some things that really stuck with you. You said the coach that followed to James Madison, but what kind of got you to start liking James Madison, and especially in your early years there? Because I know you spent some time there. And then also, did you kind of see it as a stepping stone to where you are now at a much more competitive school in OU in the MAC conference?
I definitely feel like it was a stepping stone. There was some stuff I had to learn on and off the court to allow me to bring myself here and be able to be comfortable enough and ready enough to perform the way I'm performing. And James Madison, it was like I always have love for Harrisonburg, Virginia. People, the school, the program. Coach Rowe, who's no longer there no more. He tried to, the best he could, to care for all of us, and also, win basketball games. Fortunately, it didn't end up like that, but like I said, everything happens for a reason. Because, who knows? I would have never ended up here, but. Yeah, I definitely feel like it was part of the journey that I had to, get through, and it's definitely benefiting me right now.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to dig more into your time at OU and what it felt like to get there. But real quick, we'd like to dive into the personal side of an athlete. We've been doing that a lot more recently. So, as former athletes ourselves, we know that you have to have some type of pregame warm-up routine or music that you listen to. So who's your favorite artist, or do you have any favorite songs right now that you for sure got to listen to before the game?
My favorite artist right now, probably Lil Durk. That was, he just came out with the Deluxe, and I was in heavy rotation before the game. Like Future, Drake, Uzi. Yep. It was Gotti for a while, but he kind of fell off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
where's the J. Cole at? Come on.
Oh, I gotta keep the J. Cole. Yeah, I definitely keep him in the run.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh man.
Yeah, that's definitely my guy right there.
You got good taste.
You got something? Yeah, he's good. He's good. For the next question though, it's another personal one. Kind of digging more into more of a serious, subject. I was kind of wondering, what did you react like when it came to COVID? I believe you were still at James Madison. at the time. What was your reaction and what was the team's reaction?
At first, I didn't fully understand it. So when
Mm-hmm.
they were shutting everything down, we were one of
Yeah.
the only conferences to have already finished our conference tournament. So Hofstra ended up winning the whole thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I would say it hurt them a lot more than it hurt us because, they were trying to go to the tournament and trying to figure out, how they're going to do that. And then everything got shut down. I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was harder, especially when I put my name in the transfer portal because I wasn't able to see the schools that were talking to me and meet the head coaches before I made a decision. It was almost kind of like I had to make a decision and then meet everyone, see the school teammates and everything like that. And then the postponement of workouts and not being able to get in the gym when you wanted to. I was just in Harrisonburg, sitting in my room. I was still working out, but I couldn't like get shots up in the gym or anything. You definitely had to improvise.
Yeah.
You had to find alternative ways. Whether there was an outside court or something, and then just being aware and just gaining knowledge of the disease itself. Like when it first started, I had no idea, just how deadly it was. And, people were, the numbers kept rising, and it seems like as if people were still trying to live normal life.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely shocking to me, the world that we were in, and it was almost like the world was on pause for the entire summer. So, you kind of had to, rely on yourself. You had a lot of time to yourself, a lot of time for family and things like that. So it was a kind of a blessing in disguise, but it was also a little boring if I could.
Very boring, yeah. Yeah, I can agree. Actually, I skipped past another one of the personal questions. My bad, Kevin. Kevin's got a good one for you. It's a little bit lighter than what we just talked about, but go ahead.
Just a little curious here. Like, do you have any TV shows or movies you saw recently that you really like or you're really into or something like that?
Me and my coaches talk about it all the time. We're real big fans of The Office.
Yes, dude. Yes.
We'll say mine's just out of nowhere. Just I've been watching The Office since sophomore year, and I've watched every episode, every season. It was great, man. It took me a while to get it, but once I got onto it, man, it's great.
You can ask me and Kevin were roommates my freshman year. What did we watch 24/7, Kev?
We watched The Office. Yeah.
I'm so mad they took it off Netflix.
It
man.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's got to be the number one viewed show on there. It has to be.
It was making so much money. I don't know why they took it off.
I guess the Peacock, I think it's on now. They made some offer that they couldn't resist or something, but now I guess that helps their company. I guess dog eat dog world, but
that's definitely a show I wish they could. I guess everyone's too old now to try and reboot it or something. Or
I hope.
But yeah, if they made a reboot or something, I would not hesitate to watch.
I'd pay as much money I needed to pay.
Yeah, binge the hell out of that.
Yeah. You got it, Kev.
All right, man. Kind of switching back to the basketball side of things, man. So in an article I think I read, it said you decided to enter the portal, I think March 23rd. Was that right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And then you committed to Ohio April 6th. Is that right too? Yeah. What made you just be able to decide, especially in the COVID transfer portal, in the matter of a week, that Ohio was the right place for you?
Well, my original plan was April 15th, but it came. The real struggle was that you had to weed through the ones that kind of just selling you a dream, and then it came down to two. Came down to Coach Bowles and Cleveland State, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it was probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. Rob Summers, who was on the staff there, and like I tell everybody, if it was not for Rob Summers, I would have no idea where I'd be. He took me under his wing my freshman year, and he helped my game come to another level. He played at West Virginia, he played overseas, so he really helped my game, and it was more than that. I knew I could make mistakes, and he would have my back. And freshman year, it was really hard to know that someone had my back 100%. But when he did that, my game just took off to another level. When I had the opportunity to play with him again, I definitely took it into consideration. But when it came down to it, Ohio was just a better school. I feel like the MAC. I know Ronaldo Segu from AAU, David Nickelberry. I know them from watching them play in the MAC, and I've always wanted to test myself. And then I was like, and then Jeff Bowles, who's coached D'Angelo Russell, Evan Turner.
Yeah.
It was just too much of a great opportunity to pass up. Playing with Jason Preston, who I didn't know existed at the time, but once I got word of him being second in the nation in assists, and I was like, yeah, okay, link up. But it was that's what it came down to, and I believe I made the right decision. I talked to a lot of people about it. The hardest thing was telling Coach Summers, but knowing him, he still supported me 100%. And then we actually played Cleveland State earlier, and it was just like we were just at JMU talking before the pregame. So, everything, he's keeping up with me in these games and stuff. So, everything I feel like more than made definitely the right choice.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go back to more personal. I have a little more questions about. So you're from Florida originally, correct? You came to Ohio now. Now you're here. A lot of people like Ohio. Some people are obsessed with Ohio State football or just sports in general. And then some people hate it because of the weather. Do you have any hatred, any like for Ohio? How do you feel about it here? I feel like a lot of people from Ohio would want to know. And what kind of food do you like? Because I know a lot of people are obsessed with like Cane's, Chick-fil-A.
It's funny that you mentioned that. It was a bit of a culture shock when I came up here.
I bet.
From Harrisonburg. Harrisonburg didn't have as much as Florida, but when I came up here originally and I learned like there was no Chick-fil-A, there was no Popeyes, there was no, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like, wow. Like it was kind of a culture shock for me because I was used to, because at Harrisonburg they really do have a lot of good eating spots. But once I like got more like a lay of the land. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Once I got like a lay of the land, and just finding out like the small eateries like Wings Over. I had never heard of Wings Over before I was here. The local places like Donato's and things like that.
Yeah. Is he your roommate, man?
Yeah, he's my roommate.
Oh my God. Is he right there?
He walked up the stairs, but
I was gonna have him stand right there and go into the next question because we're gonna ask you, what do you think about Jason Preston and how dynamic he is, man. We've watched we actually, like I said, we went to Bowling Green our freshman year. We watched OU play Bowling Green last year, and he lit us up. Like we ended up winning the game, I believe, but like we were like, who is this kid? He looks like LaMelo Ball 2.0, but what do you think?
And he's definitely unlike any guard I've ever played with. They told me he was good, man, but just seeing it in person, man, it was something to behold. And when we started playing in the summer, just like how shifty he is was the first thing that got to me, and how he gets to his spots. And in my mind, I was like, why do these dudes let him do this all the time? But like, not really much they can do. And he literally did it for 10 straight possessions in the Illinois game, and they had no answer. So I was like, this isn't, he knows how to get to his spots, and he knows the game. That's why his vision's so great. He watches a lot of games and things of that nature. He studies film, so he knows, how the defense is supposed to react to certain things, which is why those passes are, the way they are. But that kid's gifted, man. He can literally do anything he wants to on basketball court.
Yeah. I mean, we all saw that when we watched him live, and even this year he's performing really well. But he's not the only one performing well, because transitioning into your production from James Madison then to OU this year, dude, you're killing it. You're killing it on the boards. Watching you play, you're an energetic monster. Like, what kind of helped you get that way? It seems like you're really comfortable there at OU.
I think it's different roles. James Madison, it was more of a scoring guard. Matt Lewis, so
Yeah.
it wasn't really a priority for me to score. If I got the ball, it was to score, but mainly just getting rebounds, scoring, and things of that nature. When here, I got put in a position where I had to be, that number two punch, that 1-2 punch with JP, and be able to score down low, take the pressure off of him and of all the shooters, be able to keep the floor spaced out. And everyone told me, including one of the coaches' wives, it was literally a match made in heaven, and they were talking about how they needed a big that could score inside and everything last year, and it was like the very next year you come and you just
Yeah.
help the team.
Yeah.
So it's and then the resources, helping me stay in shape and helping me make sure I was in the best possible shape before the season and everything like that.
Mhm.
Just these guys are gym rats, man. Like our walk on John Tenerovich, I tell everyone
Oh yeah.
he works his behind off. Like he's the hardest worker. So me and him, he ended up being my best friend, man. Me and him, we hit the gym, So I think all of that, and then the chemistry our team has, and how much they trust me down low, you know,
Mhm.
I think I think those are all factors that led to my performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should love the walk-ons here, man. We've already had 3 on for interviews as well. So, and kudos to him, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So kind of to go off that big energy y'all got. So far during the season, y'all are doing pretty good. 10-6. Sorry. You're riding a good wave right now. Do you guys think you're gonna carry over this momentum to the latter half of the season and then eventually probably to the MAC tournament?
That's when we need it the most. So in order to win games and in order to win a championship, you got to be consistent. And I feel like the Buffalo win was a huge step in our program, and as far as the season, because we had trouble winning on the road, and now that we've proven we can win on the road, that's going to be even more important for seeding purposes, and even on the in the tournament, because we're going to be in Cleveland. So just making sure that we can prove that we can beat the top teams in the MAC right now, but it's not they're not just going to give it to us. I think a lot of things in that game we showed. Our defensive intensity, our energy, the way we swing the ball on offense, setting screens, executing, all those things are going to come into fruition and be the difference between winning and losing in March. Because in March, every possession matters. So as long as we recognize that and keep doing what we're doing, I feel like we'll be fine.
Yeah, I was actually watching that UB game live, and I'm from Buffalo area, so like I was rooting for them initially, but man, watching your offense just flow, it was so beautiful, man. It was hard to cheer against y'all. I'm gonna be honest.
It is hard to cheer against you guys. I'm not gonna lie, because I usually cheer for Bowling Green, but yeah, you guys are getting some good things going.
Yeah, we ever since we started refining the little things, it's crazy what opens up. Just cutting hard, screening. I feel like we put a big emphasis on screening because we don't screen our offense anymore. So that coach put a big emphasis on that in the earlier season, and we kind of ran with that and everything else, and then transition. Everyone running to their spots, being able to knock down shots. I think those are the biggest things. And then once they throw it inside, me just, analyzing the defense, Buffalo doubled a couple times, I kicked it out to shooters, or if it was just one-on-one, I went. So, a lot of skilled players on this team, like me, JP, Ben Van Klaas, Ben Roger, guys who could put it in the basket, along with the basketball minds we have on our coaching staff, and, us just being able to execute, and those are the biggest things that, why our offense is so good.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So to cap this interview off, I actually want to go to that last game y'all just played against Buffalo. Y'all down by 1 point, 36 seconds left. The ball's in Jason Preston's hand. Was that kind of something that coach told y'all to do, like try and get it to Preston, try and get him to score?
So the play that we were running, is a play called spin. So everyone was expecting JP to come off this ball screen. But what he really does is he rejects it and throws it in the bin. And then, so I set the ball screen and ball is already in. He wasn't able to, reject it like he wanted it to. So once he got it to Ben, it was up to Ben to make the read and score because he couldn't guard Nickelberry inside. When Impala helped, that allowed me to be able to.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And he threw it high, and I don't think the bottom three realized where the ball had fallen off. I think Impala did, but he was too out of position. And Nate had his back turned to Nathan, Javon Graves. They were just ball watching.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing was when I got it to make sure to keep it high.
Yep.
Because those guys were probably going to swipe.
But especially Impala.
And depending on how the game was going at that point in time, I missed a couple free throws, missed a shot. So I was like, okay, this has to go in. So I made sure this one went in. Because I didn't know if we were going to get another chance again. So
man.
I had to make sure that one went in.
They just can't let you sneak up behind them like that. They're underestimating the strength, man.
Yeah. I want to see that again, man. That's beautiful.
Crazy. And I saw, Maction posted it and we all freaking out about it. So that's crazy, man. That's awesome.
I think that's my first game winner, I think.
Yeah. You gotta keep riding it, man. You gotta keep riding it.
Yeah, bro. That was
definitely a fun game.
Oh yeah. And I'm not a big fan of Buffalo just because Kevin is. So I'm glad you did it, man. Do it for Ohio. But I think that's all we got for you today. I appreciate you coming, man. We really enjoyed it. Good luck I think your next game is Tuesday against Central Michigan. Yep. Good luck, man. Go out there and get some wins. Us Ohio people do not like anything Michigan. So go get it, man. Thanks for coming. Make sure everybody who's watching this to download the TWSN app on the App Store. It's free. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel and keep an eye on our guy here, Dwight. Let's get some wins for him.
I appreciate y'all having me for real. It's been fun.
Yeah, for sure, man.
For sure.